Hi, I'm Kirby Allison, and we love helping the well-dressed take care of their wardrobes. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my everyday carry. If you have any questions or comments during this video, please ask them in the comments section below. If you like this video, give us the thumbs up, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel. So here on YouTube, there's a ton of videos talking about people's everyday carry. This is actually one of the common questions and suggestions we've gotten for a Q&A video. So instead of rolling this into a Q&A, we're making it its own video. Now the short answer of my everyday carry is that honestly, I try to carry as little as possible. The reason is that the more stuff you have in your pockets, the more you disrupt the drape of fine clothing. It's bulky, it's gonna bulge. And then honestly, even more important is that it can actually damage your clothing. So if you've ever seen the guy with a really huge wallet that he keeps in his back pocket, if you sit down for lunch or if you're sitting in your desk chair with your wallet in your back pocket, at a certain point, you're gonna wear through the trousers and ruin that clothing. So in all honesty, I try to carry as little with me as possible. Now that's where my briefcase comes in, which is something I'm going to talk about in a moment. But as far as my everyday carry, whenever I'm in a suit or even if I'm just in jeans and a dress shirt, is I always have, my wallet. Now this is a George Cleverly Russian reindeer wallet. It's a credit card carrying case. What I like about this is it's small, it can fit in my back pocket, it can fit in my front pocket. And really it has everything that I need 99% of the time. It has my driver's license, a few credit cards, and room for a little bit of cash. I always have either a $50 or $100 bill in here just in case if I ever need cash. Now it's not large and it fits easily in my jacket or my pants without disrupting drape. Now that said, whenever I sit down, I always take this out. I also am always carrying my cell phone. Now I have an Apple iPhone X because I spend a lot of time on my phone. And what I love about Apple is the ecosystem. The photo stream is how we share family pictures amongst just immediate family members. And I love this phone. It's fast, it's beautiful, and it's part of that Apple ecosystem that is difficult to get away from once you're initiated into it. Now, I carry the white silicone case. Now, the reason I have the white silicone case is because, as I said, I'm always taking things out of my pocket. And so what I like about the white case is whenever I set it down on top of the table or I set it down in a chair, if I'm at dinner, I actually keep the chair out of my pockets but in my chair. The white case is easier to see if I get up and leave than a black case. So the first case I got for my iPhone X was actually one of the black silicone cases, and I found that I was unable to find my phone. It was too difficult to locate it just by glancing around. What I like about the white is it's a glaring kind of beacon that shows me where I left my phone. And then I have my car keys. So I drive a BMW 335 diesel, and what you'll see is that I only have my key. I don't have anything on this key because, again, whenever I put this in my pocket, I want it to be as small as possible. Now I have other keys to the house that I keep on a keychain that's always in my car. I've also had some note cards made with my letterhead engraving that I'll keep in the breast pocket of my jacket with a pin. And the reason that I like these is that if I'm at lunch with someone or if I'm at a dinner and I need to take notes, I absolutely hate having to pull out my cell phone and tap on the cell phone because I find that rude. So I'll keep these in the breast pocket of my jacket. I can pull them out, scribble some things down with either a fountain pen that I carry with me or a pen I can borrow if I've forgotten one. And nobody ever finds it rude, to write down on a piece of paper, but pulling out your cell phone and taking notes, many people still find that quite rude. So as you can see, I try to carry as little as possible on me, but that's where my briefcase comes in. Now this is a Serafine briefcase from Milan. It's an Italian luxury leather goods maker, and this is actually an overnight bag. As you can see, it's quite large. Inside is just a single compartment, and then also a side pocket for smaller items, and then two smaller pockets for like credit cards or for business cards. What I love about this is I can, just throw stuff inside of it, and it's, very expandable. If I'm just going for a quick overnight trip to New York, I can throw an extra shirt in there, an extra tie, some toiletries. And so I even travel with this bag. Sometimes whenever I'm getting on an airplane, this is all I have with me. Now, what I love about this bag is it allows me to keep a lot of other great stuff with me that I would otherwise never want to be carrying on my actual person. And I'm just going to go through some of those right now. As you've seen in my Q&A videos, my notebook is a Leuchtturm, a 1917, and it's a full-sized notebook, not with lines, but with the dot grid. You know, this was actually given to me as a gift, and you know, prior to having been given this, I don't think I ever would have bought such a large book because I never thought I would have liked it. But I have to say, now that I'm used to using one of these full-size Leuchtturm notebooks, I would never turn back. What I love about it is it's got super high-quality paper that is just an absolute pleasure to write on with a pencil or a fountain pen. And it just gives me a lot of room, you know, to just make lists and, you know, just write things down. You know, it's distinctive enough that, you know, people notice it. It's a subtle kind of marker. Whenever I'm writing on it, I'm probably using one of our Blackwing Palomino pencils. This is another item that, again, I've just started using, you know, within the last year or two. And I find myself just absolutely enjoying the analog nature of just a nice, real pencil. Now, prior to this, I used mechanical pencils, but I absolutely love these, you know, Blackwing pens. I have a pencil cup full of them that I keep on my desk. They're great to write with. And I also have a nice kind of brass travel pencil sharpener that I keep either on my desk or in my briefcase. And it comes with just a nice case. I think I bought this on Amazon. You know, this is a Dux, D-U-X, made in Germany. A great brand, great to use. You can control, you know, how sharp the point is. And so, you know, this is always with me. It's either on my desk or in my briefcase. Now, whenever I'm back in the office, I've got my fountain pens. Now, this is a Russian reindeer pen case, and what I love about it is it's big enough for 2 pens, and here I've got 2 of my absolute favorite fountain pens. So I have a pair of Waterman d'Elegance fountain pens, and I've got 2 of them. I've got one of them in ivory and one of them in what they call their Lalique black. Now, again, you know, I just love the idea of having a pair of something, and so I always keep these pens together. Each is filled with a different ink. So the ivory one, and this isn't real ivory, it's just ivory color, is filled with Mont Blanc limited edition permanent gray ink, which is kind of a dark gray, light black. In the Waterman Black Lalique pen, I have the Waterman Intense Black ink, which I absolutely love also. So having 2 pens filled with different inks just allows me to choose the pen that has the ink that fits my mood. Depending on whom I'm writing or where I'm writing, you know, I might use the Intense Black or I might use the gray ink from Mont Blanc. These pens are always in their case in my office, and honestly, I try not to travel with these just because I've already lost one of these pens once, and so I'm just a little bit nervous about taking such an expensive pen out of my office. But if I'm going to an important business meeting, I will bring one of those fountain pens with me. So moving on, I have a second wallet here. Now this is a bifold wallet from Danes and Hathaway that actually has 2 different currency pockets, and I call this my travel wallet. This travel wallet has absolutely saved me on the rare occasion I've shown up to the airport without my regular wallet that I carry with me. And what I use this for is, one, I keep all my international currency in this wallet, so if I'm traveling to London or if I'm traveling to Paris, I always land with at least 100 or 200 euros or a few hundred pounds on me so that I can always get from the airport to the hotel or the club without any problem. Second is it always has secondary forms of ID. Right, so I've always got an expired driver's license, which still can be used to get through airport security, and I've got my global entry ID here, which again allows me to get through airport security should I ever forget my wallet whenever I'm running out of the house. And then it just has a variety of other credit cards that I don't use day in, day out, but that's nice for travel. I've got my club membership cards here, you know, if I need those. You know, I've got my Oyster Pass for the London Tube. So it's just got a lot of items that, you know, whenever you're traveling, you need to have with you, but you don't need to keep in your pocket every single day. So again, this lives in my briefcase, never really comes out, and has absolutely saved me in time of need. Now, moving on to travel, another item that I always keep in my briefcase is just an eye mask. Again, I fly a lot, so if you're on an international flight or a long flight and you're trying to sleep a little, the eye mask goes a long way into kind of helping you just do that quickly and comfortably. I always keep a Bose noise canceling headset. Now this has the standard plug. I've got one of the Apple converters on it, but I find that it's absolutely essential to have a standard, just regular headset in your briefcase, because whenever you're flying on an airplane, you've got to have something that can plug into the standard audio out input. You know, I always have my Apple AirPods with me, which I love. This is another item that oftentimes I keep in my pockets, but you can't watch an airplane movie with one of these. In my briefcase, you know, I always carry a comb. Normally I always have a toothbrush in there. And then of course, I never travel, really I'd never leave home without a proper shoehorn in my briefcase. A lot of you know that I'm a huge advocate for having shoehorns everywhere, because there's never an occasion where you should put on a pair of shoes without a shoehorn. And you know, because this is a larger briefcase, I actually, you know, take the luxury of having a slightly larger shoehorn in here. This is our tabbed shoehorn. It's one of my favorites. So this is always in my briefcase. If I'm going through airport security and have to take off my shoes, I have it with me. If I've got to change shoes at the office, I have it with me. So I know that if I have my briefcase, I always have a shoehorn nearby. It only takes once or twice to ruin the heel counter on a high quality pair of shoes without a shoehorn. I also keep an extra pair of reading glasses and a pair of sunglasses in my briefcase. I've always got a few glass cases. These are my Francois Pinton glasses that are made in Paris. These are acetate, but absolutely I love them. These have corrective lenses, so most of the time I'm not wearing my contacts. It's nice to have those in my briefcase just in case I need them. I also keep a spare set of our Kirby Allison sovereign grade shoelaces. This is really out of paranoia than anything else, because I have had my shoelaces break on me once or twice in the middle of a trip where I was unable to find shoelaces and actually had to tie the two ends of the shoelaces back together and then take them outside of a hole in order to allow me to even tie the shoe. It'll work in case of emergency, but you know, the better strategy is to always have a pair of shoelaces in your briefcase, or at least in your luggage. And then lastly, I have my laptop. This is just a 12-inch MacBook. It's not a MacBook Pro. What I love about this is it's just lighter. It has a nice small form factor. It's lightweight. It's not too heavy in my briefcase. You know, the MacBook Pros these days, they make them and they're still a lot lighter than they used to be, but whenever you're walking around London, you're walking around Paris, you know, that extra 2 or 3 pounds in your briefcase really makes an incredible difference. So I find this to do everything I need it to do. I can do email, I can, you know, browse the internet, I can even do stuff in Photoshop and Excel, and I've never had any problems with this laptop not meeting all of my demands for work. The other thing I love about this laptop and this Livestream notebook is that I can throw this inside my notebook if I'm just going to a quick meeting, and I've got everything in this. You know, I might even leave my briefcase behind, just head off to a quick meeting, and you know, I've got my laptop, my notebook, I'll even keep a pencil in here, and you know, it's everything I need. So this is my everyday carry. You know, there's a few other odds and ends in here, but really nothing that's important. All the important stuff's right here. But whenever it comes to my everyday carry, I can't stress enough how important it is to have as little in your pockets at all. If you sit down, empty everything out of your pockets, or at least put them in your jacket pocket, because if you sit down in your wallet, you know, it's going to potentially ruin your clothing. So I carry my credit card case, my keys, maybe my AirPods, and my telephone. That's it. So this is my everyday carry. As you can see, you know, my everyday carry on my person is actually quite small. The majority of all this stuff is always in my briefcase. I love this briefcase from Seraphim, this overnight bag. You can see us cleaning this in some of our other YouTube videos. So if you have a large briefcase and you're just curious about how to best take care of that to keep it looking good and have it last as long as possible, check out some of our YouTube videos. If you enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications by clicking the bell to the right of the subscribe button so that you can learn whenever we release new videos. If you have any questions or comments about anything we discussed on this video, please ask them in the comments section below. And of course, please visit hangerproject.com, where we have the largest, most comprehensive collection of luxury garment care and shoe care accessories in the world, as well as many other incredible products for the well-dressed. And while you are there, subscribe to our newsletter to receive notifications of new product launches, promotions, as well as a weekly digest of all the videos we publish here on our YouTube channel. I'm Kirby Allison, and thanks for joining me for this Everyday Carry video.